wanted to point out I'm just pulling into work right now. I was doing a talking head episode, but I've decided to end it because of a situation that seems to be developing here. I guess this is a homeless camp that some people have set up with tents, and there appears to be police and paramedics here today. So I don't know if somebody's having a health crisis. It's interesting that I don't think the police is arresting them or anything, but there are two. Actually, there's another fire truck coming by here. So there's like a small fire truck there, another little, paramedic thing, and now a big, huge fire truck's pulling up. So, I think I'm in their way. I'm going to move out of their way. The fire truck is wanting to come in. So I think they are wanting to do something. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and leave the scene here because I think they're busy working and I've got to get to work. But it was interesting to pull in and see all the stuff going on. I think the police and them are here to respond to some kind of health emergency. Somebody may be having a heart attack or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of activity going down on that end. Let me take this off here and show you. But I didn't realize that's where the homeless camp was. I see those homeless people out here every day begging for money on this corner. Seems like they're over here begging for money, and it looks now like there's some kind of emergency crisis going on. I doubt I'm ever going to find out what really happened, but I know whatever it is seems to be some kind of medical situation. And there were people out there living in a tent, so I guess they live on that corner. And I don't think it's just one person. I think it's a colony. I think it's a group of people, all homeless, living together. Really sad state of affairs. When you look at a country like America and you're like, this is what's happening here in this country. So homeless situation is kind of growing out of hand, and there seems to be a huge disparity between the haves and the have-nots. And a lot of times even the people who are working, unless they're making more than minimum wage or even a little bit above minimum wage, it's not enough to live off. It's crazy, like I was doing on my other video, my talking head, you could have two adults working full-time and they don't make enough money to live. You could work 3 or 4 jobs and still not make enough money to live. The cost for rent is too high, and even food and gasoline prices, it didn't keep pace with the pay. So you need to have a good job and then pray that you don't lose that job, because I know some of my viewers have contacted me and say they watch this channel even though they have a very good job, but there's a potential that they will lose the job. So I'm going to turn this fan off because I think it might be making too much noise. I apologize for that. But it's hot, the car doesn't have air conditioning, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on over there, if they're going to pick up the person or what. It looks like they had, I don't know if they took a stretcher out there, a whole bunch of paramedics. I think some of the trucks are leaving. So they may have taken the person already. Had to go to the ER or something. Yeah, the ambulance are leaving and the police are leaving. And it doesn't look like they are being arrested or anything. So apparently there's some kind of homeless camp right behind Walmart. Very interesting. I didn't even know that's where they were all camping. I was trying to figure out where they were all coming from, because it wasn't just one person. They sit on this corner here, and on different days you see different persons sitting out there begging for money. But it's like the same people, like I see them week after week after week. And then just now I saw the tent and I saw some other person walking over there, and I'm like, wow, there may be as much as 10 or 12 people who are living out there in the that little field. And they actually had at least one tent, if not more than one, set up. So it's like a little colony, and it looks like the emergency whatever has been cleared up, and the police are leaving the homeless alone, which I'm really amazed. I guess if you haul off the homeless people, they go to jail and then they can't pay to bail out. Now the county is responsible for them, their medical needs and everything. So they're not just leaving them. They're leaving them on the streets. And Brevard County has a homeless population and, some shelters and stuff. You see some of these people on the street, like that guy over there walking is probably homeless. But it's not anywhere at the level of like places like California. When I went there on my honeymoon with my wife, people were literally camping on the sidewalks alongside the roads. So it's not that bad over here, but they do hide in the woods, and in this case it's not even the woods, they're out in the open. They're actually out there in a little camp behind Walmart. So I think a sad state of affairs. I hope whoever's hurt there is okay and that everything works out for them. But I am kind of surprised the police actually did leave the homeless camp alone. Until next time, everyone, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. I hope that, nobody is forced into homelessness or forced into living in a van, because in that case, you're not really... Some people say when you're living in a van, you're not homeless, you're houseless. That's true if you choose to live in a van. If you make a conscious choice and you have money and you build up a van and make it nice and all like a home, and you consider that your home, then you're not homeless, you're houseless. But if you're like me and literally hundreds of thousands of people who are forced into this situation because you lost your job, went through a nasty divorce or whatever, or you're underemployed, even though you're working full time, or 2 or 3 jobs, and you still can't afford to make your payments. Being forced to live in a vehicle or even on the streets is homelessness. And, it's not glamorous. It's not, it's the reality. But you make the best of it, and, I consider myself lucky to at least have a vehicle. And, even though it's got, more than 340,000 miles on it. It's got 350,000 miles on it right now. And, it has all sorts of vehicle issues. But it still runs and drives. And it's been set up for full-time living. I can sleep in it. I can cook in it. And I've got my systems for taking a shower and all that. So I'm very fortunate. I do have like a mobile house, tiny house on wheels. Compared to the people who are living in the tents, or worse yet, can't even afford a tent and are sleeping under a bridge in a box or something, which you see around here. Very sad. I ask you all to pray for these people, not just these particular people, but all people who are facing this particular crisis. And those of you who are looking at possibly having to face this kind of issue yourself, know that my thoughts are with you, my prayers are for you, and that if you should find yourself in a situation or getting ready to get into a situation like this, it's a good thing that you found this channel and hopefully other channels where you can get some ideas on what you can do to survive. Try to keep positive thoughts about the situation, and know that even as dire as it might seem, this is all temporary. Work towards your goal and keep moving forward, because otherwise it's not going to change. It's just going to get worse. Until next time, God bless you all.